Have you ever been in that awkward situation where a dog, without any ceremony, comes straight up to sniff your butt? It might seem strange or even embarrassing, but believe me, there's a completely natural explanation for this canine behavior. Dogs don't have social media to know who we are, and they certainly don't ask where we come from. They rely on something much more efficient: their nose. A dog's sense of smell is the main tool they use to understand the world around them. If you think the dog is just sniffing out of curiosity, you're mistaken. Their sense of smell is a true superpower, functioning like a natural database that stores everything they need to know about their environment, people, and other animals around them. Shall we uncover this mystery? The superpower of a dog's sense of smell. If you think your dog just likes to sniff things out of curiosity, you're mistaken. A dog's sense of smell is one of the most advanced sensory tools in nature. It's estimated that dogs have between 220 to 300 million olfactory receptors in their noses, an impressive number compared to the mere 5 to 6 million that we humans have. This means dogs can detect smells in concentrations up to 100,000 times lower than humans can. But that's not all. A dog's brain is also highly specialized for interpreting smells. The area of the brain responsible for olfactory processing in dogs is about 40 times larger than that of humans, proportionally to the size of the brain. This allows them to analyze smells with extreme precision, identifying different components within a single scent. Another important factor is the Jacobson's organ, also known as the vomeronasal organ. This specialized organ, located in the roof of the mouth, allows dogs to detect pheromones and other chemical substances in the environment. While we use vision as our primary sense to recognize people and environments, dogs do this through smell. For them, every human has a unique olfactory signature, like an invisible fingerprint. This explains why dogs are so often used in search and rescue operations, drug detection, disease identification, and even in detecting human emotions. They can perceive chemical changes in a person's body just by smell, something we humans could never do. Anal glands. Dogs have anal glands that release a unique odor for each individual, functioning like a sort of olfactory identity. These glands, located on either side of the anus, produce a substance rich in chemical compounds that carry detailed information about the animal. When a dog sniffs this area, it's not just smelling any odor, but accessing a true biological database. The odor released by these glands contains information about the dog's sex, age, health status, and even stress level. Additionally, the smell can indicate whether a dog is dominant or submissive, helping to establish relationships within a group. This is one of the main reasons why dogs always sniff each other when they meet. It's a quick and efficient form of communication, allowing each one to know who they're dealing with. These glands also play an essential role in territorial marking. When a dog defecates, the secretions from these glands are released along with the feces, leaving an olfactory trail that other dogs can identify. This explains why dogs often sniff the places where other animals have already passed. Moreover, dogs may show special interest in sniffing a companion who is sick or a female in heat, as hormonal and health changes influence the production of these secretions. This mechanism also applies to humans. Dogs can perceive chemical changes in the smell of our body, which may explain why some dogs seem more interested in certain people than others. Why do dogs sniff people's butts? When dogs sniff people's butts, the behavior might seem strange to us, but it makes perfect sense to them. Just like they do with other dogs, this act of sniffing a human's body is directly related to how they process information through their sense of smell. As we've mentioned, dogs have an extremely keen sense of smell, much more developed than ours, allowing them to detect odors and pheromones in minimal concentrations that humans can't perceive. In humans, apocrine sweat glands, which are responsible for releasing sweat and pheromones, are primarily located in areas like the armpits and the genital region. These pheromones and odors can carry a lot of information, including our emotional state, health, and even hormonal changes. For example, if a person is stressed, their sweat production increases, which can result in a stronger and more distinct smell. Additionally, Sweat glands also release specific odors when a person is sick, pregnant, or in another significant hormonal state. For dogs, sniffing these areas isn't just curiosity. It's an efficient way to learn more about us. They can perceive and identify a range of information about the human they're sniffing, such as their identity, mood, whether they're sick, or if they've experienced a significant emotional event like stress or fear. In other words, the smell of the human body works for dogs in the same way as a unique and personalized identity, like an invisible fingerprint. So, when a dog sniffs a person's butt, it's a way for the dog to confirm who you are and check your physical and emotional state. While this might seem invasive or strange to us, for dogs, it's simply a natural way of communication and recognition. When a dog does this, it's not trying to be disrespectful or inappropriate. It's just trying to get to know you better, understand your health status, and identify if anything has changed since the last time you met. Common situations and how to handle them. Now that we understand why dogs sniff people's butts, it's interesting to observe in which situations this behavior occurs more frequently. This type of behavior can be more common in some specific contexts, and knowing how to handle it is important to keep the environment pleasant for everyone. A very common situation occurs when you come home after a long day out. When you return home, your dog may approach you and almost immediately sniff your intimate area. This happens because, after the time you were away, the dog wants to confirm your identity and check if there's anything new about you, such as changes in your smell or emotional state. They might be sniffing to understand where you've been, if you've interacted with other animals, or even to notice if there's something different about your health or mood. Another moment that can trigger this behavior is when you come into contact with other dogs or animals. If your dog notices a new smell on you, they might want to investigate further, sniffing the genital area or butt, trying to identify the scent marks of other animals. This interest is natural, as dogs have a highly developed sense of smell and feel compelled to investigate their surroundings, especially if there are new smells they don't recognize. Additionally, if you are sweaty or have gone through a stressful situation, your body tends to release more odors. The smell of sweat, combined with the pheromones generated by stress, can attract your dog's interest, who will likely approach and try to sniff to understand what's happening. It's an instinctive reaction, as dogs have a keen sensitivity to changes in their owner's smell. Another important factor that can lead a dog to sniff a person's, but is the natural curiosity of the breed. Dogs of certain breeds, such as Beagles, Labradors, and German Shepherds, are known for their keen sense of smell and tendency to investigate everything they sniff. In some situations, the sniffing behavior may just be a demonstration of curiosity and not necessarily an attempt to gather deep information. If this behavior from your dog bothers you or causes discomfort, there are some simple ways to handle the situation. An effective approach is to redirect the dog's attention by offering a toy, treat, or even a simple command like sit or no. This helps the dog understand that the behavior is not desired at that moment, without punishing or reprimanding aggressively. Another strategy that can be useful is to socialize your dog from a young age so that they learn appropriate behaviors when interacting with people. Teaching obedience commands like stay or come here can also be an effective way to prevent the dog from insisting on this behavior, especially in social situations. Remember that, for the dog, this behavior is not a lack of manners, but a natural form of communication. They simply don't understand what we consider socially appropriate or not. They are guided by curiosity and the need to gather information about the environment and people around them. With patience and consistency, it's possible to teach the dog to understand the right time to interact more respectfully. Now that you know this behavior is not strange in the canine world, it's easier to face it naturally and even with more affection. For dogs, sniffing is the most effective way to gather information about the world around them, and that includes you. So, has your dog ever done this to you or someone else? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos about the behavior of our four-legged friends. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.